What's up, everyone? Kylie here, part of NBA or Nothing, and today we're bringing you some of the top free agents in the market. We're going to tell you where they think they're going to land and other possible destinations, and maybe even the impact they can make on these teams if they do join them. So we're going to start off first with Deron Williams. And Elliot, where do you think he's going to end up?
Well, it's been said before that Deron Williams will either go to the will either resign with the Brooklyn Nets or he will go to his hometown in Dallas.
Where do you
And
personally think he'll
honestly,
go?
yeah,
Okay.
honestly, I pretty much think that he will end up resigning with the Brooklyn Nets because I just think he's gonna resign. I don't think he's gonna go to his hometown in Dallas because nobody really does that.
Really
Everybody
does have a good
prefers,
relation. Well, he does really have a good relationship with the Brooklyn Nets as well, like
yeah,
the with the management. The
yeah.
management he has a really good relationship with, but it's going to be hard because should the Nets can offer more money. The Nets have more salary cap than anyone. Dallas is second, but still. But it's going to be hard to give up the chance to play back in your hometown for one, and for two to miss a chance to play with Dirk Nowitzki before he retires. I know that's something Darren Williams probably wants to do. So it's going to be hard for him to choose. I personally think he will stay with the Brooklyn Nets as well because you can offer him more money. I think they can offer him a lot more money, and on top of that, he does already have good relationships with the management and a lot of the teammates.
It's very true. So we're thinking Deron Williams will end up resigning, and yeah. Next off, we're off to Ray Allen from the Boston Celtics. What do you think he's gonna head off to?
I see we already went through this, and I see we both saw three possible places he'll end up going: Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, or Memphis Grizzlies. Really, I think it's between the Celtics and Heat. And between that, I don't think the Celtics are too interested in re-signing him back. And so I think in the end he'll go to Miami, try to get that championship ring, another one, before he eventually retires. He only has 1 or 2 years left in him anyway, I think, personally.
Yeah, he's an old player. I do really love Ray Allen. He's crazy, and he's like the best three-point shooter out there, no doubt about that. And yeah, honestly, I would love for him to go back to Celtics because I do like Boston, and he did really have a good relationship with the whole entire team, but it seems like Boston's legacy is kind of done, so he's gonna probably go to Miami right now. Sad to say, and honestly, yeah, I think he's just gonna be coming off the bench like Mike Miller would, and just hit a bunch of threes and stuff like that. Definitely not gonna be a starter. I don't see that.
Oh no, he won't be a starter because he'd
Dwayne
be
Wade.
behind Dwayne Wade, yeah.
But yeah, he would come off the bench for Dwayne and do well. So depends if Memphis wants to come up and offer more money or something like that. But I honestly do not think he's gonna go to Memphis, no matter how much money they give, unless it's crazy. All right. So next up, we got
Steve Nash. Steve Nash, he's getting up there in years. He may only have 1 or 2 years left, but he is still a very productive player. He wants a championship ring, I think. But at the same time, he may rejoin Phoenix because Phoenix is the team that gave him the chance, and he really is the type of player who thinks about that and stuff. So, where do you think he's gonna go, Elliot?
honestly, I do not think he's gonna be re-signing. He's kind of said that that's his like the last game that he plays is gonna be like his last game in Phoenix. I want him to go back to Phoenix. I think he really liked Phoenix. I think he had a good time there, but at the same time, I don't think he's gonna be re-signing. The other teams that he may go to are the Miami Heat, New York Knicks, Dallas Mavericks, or Toronto Raptors. And recently, Toronto gave him offered a lot of money for him, and that can really bring up the chances of him going to Toronto. But will he go to Toronto? Will he kind of risk the chance of not being able to win another championship? Because think about it, if he goes
He
to
won't win another
Miami,
one in Toronto. There's no way.
yeah, no
He
shit.
won't win one in
No
Toronto.
shit. But will he go to Toronto because of the money and, just have fun? Or will he want to get the championship ring and go to Miami instead, bring his talents to South Beach
I got
and become like, a first pass to LeBron and Dwayne Wade and all that?
I got to throw in a third team there, and that's the Dallas Mavericks, where I think he possibly end up. It depends if Darren Williams goes to New Jersey, then I can see Steve Nash coming to Dallas as a short-term fix for a while until they can get another guy. So if Darren Williams goes to New Jersey, Steve Nash will sign with the Mavericks. If he does not go to New Jersey, I think he will go and play for the Miami Heat.
Not to mention that he also has a good relationship with Dirk Nowitzki because they were former teammates for 7 years, I believe, when he first came in the NBA. I think Steve Nash may go back to Dallas, and that would probably be really nice for him to go back to Dallas, but I kind of see him going to Miami. I'd love for him to go to the Knicks, honestly. Like, for a nice year or two, just, like, come to the Knicks, help us out, because we are in need for a good point guard like Steve Nash.
Not gonna
But that's
happen.
not going to happen.
Next.
Alright, next up we got Goran Dragic, who's a young point guard, 26 years old, a lot of potential, pretty good, honestly. And yeah, he's from the Houston Rockets, and you want to take it off?
Sure. Let's see here. There are 6 teams interested in him that there may be more, but 6 that we think that really may have a chance in getting him. And I mean, the Houston Rockets, of course, I mean, they're looking to re-sign him, but they're going to have to pay a lot of money for them, and I don't know if they can afford to do that. You have the Toronto Raptors, who, I mean, proved that they're willing to pay a lot of money for a point guard, making that deal over to Steve Nash. You have the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, like I said, if the whole things go wrong, Darren Williams ends up going back to New Jersey. I mean, Dallas is obviously going to pursue him and Steve Nash probably. And then you have the New Orleans Hornets. It's just I think this all again depends on whether or not what's his name, Eric Gordon ends up coming back to New Orleans, because I mean you don't want to start Austin Rivers off right away. And then we have the Phoenix Suns, who of course they lose Steve Nash. They're going to need a future point guard, and then you have the New York Knicks, who do need that point guard position.
Yeah, I do not see him re-signing with the Rockets. Phoenix, I don't think he's gonna go back to. I don't think he's gonna go to Phoenix because they have Kendall Marshall now. But at the same time, Kendall Marshall may not be their best player. He may go to Phoenix. I don't know about that. Knicks, don't think so. He may. I don't know. I like him to be on the Knicks. He's a good player, a lot of
Of
potential.
course
We
you
need a
would. You
point
like every
guard.
other
We
guy on
need
the
a fucking
Knicks.
point guard, guys. But yeah, I don't see him going to New York, Toronto possibly. They've proven their point that they need a point guard, and honestly, so many choices. I'm gonna knock off Houston. I'm gonna knock off Phoenix. I'm gonna knock off New York. I'm gonna probably knock off New Orleans. So it's either Dallas or Toronto, in my opinion. What about you?
I think he's going to Toronto. I think the money offered there will be great, and he's Toronto's next chance. Even though Toronto's, I don't know, Toronto just needs to
They're the
rebuild
worst team.
completely. They need to rebuild completely. You know, they didn't finish the worst record like the Bobcats, but they're in a lot worse shape than the Bobcats are.
Definitely. People say Bobcats are the worst team. I honestly think that the Bobcats are in much better shape than them, honestly. They're just, yeah, I don't know. I don't like, Toronto
I,
does not have a good chance.
but that could help. I mean, if they bring in Dragic here, that could really help their chances.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
bring Dragic to the Toronto, maybe something can happen. He has young talent, he can get better, you know, he's not limited.
okay, so let's move on here. Next up, we got OJ Mayo.
Mayonnaise. Um,
And Memphis, I mean, really, they could have offered him something they didn't. They just kind of let him go. So I don't think Memphis is going to re-sign him at all. And from what I understand, it's going to be between 2 teams. Indiana is looking for a shooter because they need a shooter. So obviously them. And then Boston, I mean, they're losing Ray Allen. They're going to need someone to replace Ray Allen. So why not go after OJ Mayo?
yeah, I mean, OJ Mayo going to the Celtics, they'll have Avery Bradley, OJ Mayo. I think they're in good need for OJ Mayo. He's a good player, a lot of potential, and I like him. He's a good player, and I don't
They'll
honestly,
help them get that one last title run too.
maybe.
I mean,
Indiana
they're running out of
Pacers.
chances right now.
Indiana Pacers. They have Barbosa. Well, he's a free agent, but you know,
They need a shooter.
they need a shooter, but I do not see them getting OJ. So mayonnaise is going to the Celtics.
I disagree. I think he's going to Indiana.
Ooh, we'll see about that.
I think Indiana is going to pay a pretty penny for OJ.
Imagine he ends up like going to like the
Well, actually, I
Wizards.
think it depends. It depends on how much they're going to end up having to pay Roy Hibbert to come back.
True that. True that. Because Rhea Hibbert is another. He's restricted though, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Mayo. He can go to the Celtics. He can go to Pacers. We'll see about that. Next up, we got Jason Kidd, and he's kind of like, wherever Deron Williams is going, he's interested in going with him. So if he's going to,
Yeah. So
so
any yeah, that was easy.
if Deron Williams is going to resign, he's going to Brooklyn. If Deron Williams is going to come to Dallas, he's staying. There we go. Next up, we got Kirk Hinrich.
Kirk Hinrich is a really good player. I mean, I mean, really, really good. I don't know what else I can say about that. I think he has a lot of potential in him. And there are a few possible landing spots for him, of course, back in Atlanta. But then we also have the Los Angeles Lakers, who are looking for the point guard of their future, with the Utah Jazz, who, I mean, they're kind of iffy on point guard. They did get Mo Williams, and they do have Devin Harris. If they could add Kirk to that, it would give them a lot of trade bait. Plus, I think Kirk is the starting point guard they are looking for.
Come to New York.
And then we have the Chicago Bulls, who
Wants him back, maybe.
yeah, I mean they
Possible
need someone to
reunion.
back. They need a good point guard to back up Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose plays really aggressive, and we kind of saw that last year during the
Yeah,
playoffs.
injuries. Kirk Hinrich. I don't see him going back to Atlanta. I do not see him going to Los Angeles Lakers. Honestly, no. Actually, he may go to LA. I don't see him in a yellow uniform though. So I see him going to Utah a bit more. I kind of see him going back to Bulls. I don't see him really actually. This is a toughie. I don't see him going back to Bulls, and I don't see him. Yeah, this is a really tough one. What are your opinions? Where do you think he's gonna go?
I think it's between two teams, and the Lakers and the Jazz. But honestly, for opportunities in him, for the opportunity, I mean, to be the starting point guard for the LA Lakers and have a chance to play with Kobe Bryant, I think he'll choose the Lakers and go to LA.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I kind of don't see him going to Utah. I just don't see him in the uniform. I just don't see him in the Lakers uniform. But he may go to LA. So I'm gonna say I'm my final answer would have to be LA, but it's between Utah and Lakers. And it'd be cool if he was going to Utah, and it'd be cool if he went back to Chicago, but he may go to LA for the experience and possible ring. Except he probably won't get it. Next up, we got Ersan Ilyasova, a very good player, pretty consistent in the rebounds and the points. And I like Ersan. He's cool, and I had him on my fantasy, and he was okay. Um, he can either re-sign with the Milwaukee Bucks. He has interest in going to the Brooklyn Nets, and he may go to Sacramento. I do not see that though.
I can actually see Sacramento, and here's why. Sacramento does not really have a face of the franchise. Ilyasova has a chance to do that, and not only does he have a chance to do that, you're talking maybe next year Sacramento's beginning to become Anaheim. And, I mean, just become a face of a franchise in a new city. I mean, that's just an opportunity that doesn't happen often. That's why Dwight Howard wants to go to Brooklyn for that
Yeah,
chance.
yeah,
So I can see Sacramento possibly. Um,
maybe.
Milwaukee, it's kind of hard. I don't know. It all depends. If Brooklyn decides to go out and re-sign, well, who we're talking about next, Kris Humphries, then I could see him signing back with Milwaukee.
But think about it,
But
like
if Kris Humphries doesn't go, he go to Brooklyn. I don't know. I mean, I can see him going to Sacramento, but I don't think he'll go to Sacramento.
honestly, if he gets out of Milwaukee, who will Milwaukee exactly have as their power forward slash small forward? They have as their small forward Mbamute, but for power forward they don't really have that much of a choice for that. And Sacramento, they have Jason Thompson and Travis Outlaw, Terrence Williams, John Salmons, whatever his name is. They have a lot of small forwards, and power forwards not too much. And Ilyasova can play as a power forward position, but I don't see him going to Nets. I see him going to Milwaukee, re-signing there, or going to Sacramento. I do not see him going to Brooklyn, honestly. There are two new franchises that he can be the face of, though, Brooklyn and Sacramento, but I don't see him going to Brooklyn. That's just me, though.
I got my final. He's going to resign with Milwaukee. That's what I think in the end will happen.
Yeah, if I have to, like, I'm just saying, like, Milwaukee or Sacramento, but my final answer would be Milwaukee. Next up, we got Kris Humphries, and this is kind of either go, like, 50-50 chance. He's interested in either re-signing with the Brooklyn Nets or going to Philadelphia, and I think going back to Brooklyn.
I can see him go back to Brooklyn too. I mean, it's like I said, new franchise that brings a lot of hype to it, and Brooklyn's a big market as well, which brings even more. So I mean, I can see Kris Humphries going to Brooklyn. I don't see him being a 76er.
Yeah, I do not see him being a 76er at all. That's kind of just like a easy thing. And finally, we have Brian Scalabrine.
Brian Scalabrine, god of basketball.
God, dude, I wish he was on the Knicks, bro. We would give him playing time, but he's too good to bring out at the end of the
So
games. Ah,
anyway, I'm gonna tell you guys where Brian Scalabrine's gonna go. He's gonna go wherever the fuck he wants.
yeah, he's gonna go. That's literally what we said. Where the fuck he wants to go. If he's been on teams that like have potential and like maybe like gets ranked and stuff. Like he's been on Chicago. He got a ring at Boston for not even playing. But I remember that inbounds pass on Boston where he just lost the ball. That was the funniest thing ever. Okay, honestly, Brian Scalabrine, he may resign with the Chicago Bulls. I don't know where he's gonna go. Scal for the
We
win.
just decided we throw him in there for you guys.
How about we go? How about he goes to Charlotte and he's equal with the skill level like Bismack Biyombo. But yeah, he's gonna go where the hell he wants to go. He may go back to Chicago, but that's pretty much it for our whole entire free agency opinions and stuff like that. We'll be checking up on that, and we'll update you guys on where people go after the
And
few.
also, if you guys have, I'm sorry cutting you off, but
It's fun.
if you guys have any more questions, like any more players you're wondering, you can put it in the comment section, and we'll tell you where we think that player will end up going. So
And
we
if you
hope you
have
guys
any,
did all enjoy this.
and if you have any like counter arguments or whatever, you can leave that in the comment section, saying like, "Oh, I think Kris Humphries is gonna go to like Charlotte," like whatever. Just leave that in the comments, and we're free to opinions. Like we would like to know. So hope you guys
Yes.
enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in the next video for NBA or Nothing.